All right, hello and welcome to this week's Learning Platforms Team Virtual Office Hours. We are Bill Wilberg, Brett Stevens, Rick Ramos, and Michael Bonanno. And presenting this week are Rick and Bill with badges and achievements and the Blackboard calendar. Quick introduction to the Collaborate interface. We have the audio-video panel here. We have the participants panel here, the chat panel here, and the content area here. In the audio-video panel, you have the talk and video toggles and the preview button if you want to check your video before it's going live. And then there are the sliders for the microphone volume and the speaker volume. In the participants panel, you have the list of participants here, but you also have the interaction buttons here, emoticons, away button, the raise and lower hand toggle, and the polling buttons. In the chat panel, of course, you can enter chat, use emoticons, and scroll through chat. You can also chat directly with the moderators. And then last but not least, we have the content area where we use the whiteboard, the application sharing, and web tours sometimes. Any questions or comments on that part? Okay, moving on to badges and achievements with Rick. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today for our virtual office hours. We're freshly arrived from the Blackboard World Conference with plenty of ideas and new features in mind. So let's get started with one that was implemented, I think, in Service Pack 12, and it became part of Blackboard Basic as a Service Pack 13, and it's the badges and achievement. The badges of achievements, well, what is it? The achievement tool allows the instructors to create opportunities for the students to earn recognition for their accomplishment. These opportunities are called achievements. The instructor designates the criteria for issuing the rewards to the students in the form of both a badge or a certificate. The badges can be used in Blackboard Learn to signify completion of mastery of a project, skill, or achievement. We will talk about more of that, and I'll show you how it works and then how to use them in a live demo. From the conference that we went to, I picked up some of the slides in their presentation, and this is one of them. Speaking about the value of the badges as an answer to the declining value of the degrees. But I won't hold it too long, and let me go ahead and show you what it is. Let me go ahead and get started by sharing my screen, and you will have a better idea of what it is. Now, can I see? Can I have a green check mark if everybody can see it okay? Anybody? Thank you. All right. There are several ways that you can set up the badges, and if you're familiar with the adaptive release in Blackboard, this will be a pretty easy process for you. So one of the first thing is what are the achievements and where can we find them? We can find them in the control panel under the course tools, and then I'll show you what it is. The first of the tool is called achievement. If you go there, you will see that you already have set up some of them. So to go ahead and get some work done. And you have two types of achievements. You have first the milestones and the certificates. The milestones are to be used when you intend to give a specific task to the students. Like, for example, if they have completed an assignment or a set of assignment, that could be a milestone. Or if they have passed a test or an exam, so that could be also another milestone. So this will be depending on what you want to do with them. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. For example, in my course units, and I went to Unit 1. I have set up here a review of a document. So if the student will go ahead and review that and mark it as reviewed, they will get a badge. So let me go ahead and get it started as a student so you can see, and then I'll show you how to set it up. Okay, so here I am in my student view. I'm going to go to my course units, and I'm going to go to my Unit 1. And, well, obviously I already have it reviewed, so let me uncheck it. Sorry, I forgot to uncheck it earlier. But let's say I'm going to open this document. This is a Word document. So here it is. I went ahead and opened it. I just finished it. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark it review. As soon as I will mark it reviewed, I'm getting my milestone, my badge. If I go to my achievements, and I will also show you how to set this up, I can go ahead and see that this one is completed and those others are still pending for me to release it. So you, as an instructor, you can set it up so the student can have an idea of what's coming, but you can also hide this, these badges and certificates so they don't know what's coming. For this purpose, I set it up so you can see the others that are going to be available. So now I'm going to go to my achievements after earning this one for the document review. I'm going to go to my assignments, and I have one assignment and one test. I'm going to go ahead and submit my assignment. And in this case, I set it up so I will earn the badge as soon as I submit an assignment. So I'm going to browse my computer, and I'm going to select any document, doesn't really matter, and submit it. Okay, now this is an Excel spreadsheet, so it's nothing really interesting, but it's here in Crocodoc. I can review it. So if I go back to my achievement, I will see that now I have the next one, which is assignment 1 completion. Now I earn another one. If I go back to assignments, I have an exam to take. And as a matter of fact, as you can see here, assignment 1 completion, this is another badge that I get. And now I'm going to the test 1. I'm going to take the test. And this is the question, is Blackboard useful? I'm going to put extremely, of course, like we all think. And we're going to save and submit my exam. My test was taken, and I should see another badge coming up right here. Here it is. And because I completed assignment 1 and test 1, I now completed my course, and here I have my certificate. Where can I see that? By going to my achievement, and I can see that I completed assignment 1, document review, and test 1 completed, and this gave me a certificate. So I can go ahead and open it if I want to. The certificate tells me what the requirements are for me to earn it, and then I can go ahead and print it. Here, these are some details about the certificate. And I have some links and criteria, etc., etc. Now, I understand if you want to print the certificate, you will get this kind of certificate, and Bill is the issuer because he's our director here, so he will be the one issuing these certificates. I put his name. This is how I set it up. I understand that the Blackboard doesn't give a lot of freedom when it comes to the certificates. There's only 3 different samples that you can have, and they're all 3 different colors. But we have a workaround. And if I go back to my assignments here, let's say I earned my certificate for the course completed. I'm going to mark this one for review. And this will actually go to my certificates and will allow me to get this one that I created separately. And I can go ahead and print it for my purpose. So you can go ahead and create a certificate in HTML and set it up so it would be the one that the students will print. Great. So now let's go ahead and show you how I did all that. Let me go back to my teacher view. So the first thing that I had to do was create the task. So I went ahead and first created, in my course units, I created the item in here by carefully noting where I did create it. So I created this item, and I set it up so it had to be reviewed in order to proceed to the next step. So once you set it up with the document, you come here to set review status. In this case, is enabled. Yours is probably going to be disabled, and you click on that, and you'll have the option to enable or disable. And now that the enable or disable review status is in place, I will go ahead and create a certificate. So I'm going to come here to the achievement tool. And I'm going to create an achievement. And this will be a milestone, which basically says that if I reviewed this document, I'm going to have a milestone completed. So I'm going to set up milestone. And the first thing that I will have to do is go ahead and create the name of the milestone. And in this case, it's going to be document review. And what location is that milestone in? So in this case, it's going to be in my course units under Unit 1. Okay. Do you want this to be visible to the students before receiving? And that's what I was talking about when I went to my achievements, and I was able to see all the other achievements and certificates even though I haven't completed them. So you can select yes or no if you want them to be able to see them. And here you will put a description for what this milestone is. In this case, you can say, congratulations, you just completed your first, you just reviewed your first document, or you just finished your first week, for example. Keep up the good work, etc., etc. So you will put a description in there of what is that milestone about. Once you have set that up, we're going to define the triggers. What is going to trigger the release of that milestone? I'm going to go to define triggers. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit slow. And now that I'm here in the defining triggers, I'm going to scroll down, and I have a series of information that I can set. I can go ahead and display after a specific date if I want to. I can go ahead and make this milestone only for certain members if I want to. And then again, this is back to all the adaptive release if you're familiar with them. You can make something available to only a specific person or groups. But since there's no group in here, it's going to say no items found. And this is what I did for this one in this case. No, actually, this is for the other ones. You can actually set up a grade column. If it's an assignment or a test, you can set it up for that, and we'll see that for the next example. And what I did for this one specific is the review status, which I went and I browsed for the item. In this case, it was in my unit, course units, Unit 1. and it was called document reviewed. So I selected that one, and I select the reward. So that means that once this document review was reviewed or check reviewed, it will earn the milestone. Now I'm going to select what reward I get for reviewing this. And it's moving slowly. So now I get a series of badges showing in just 1 second. Here it is. So here's a series of badges, and I will start by putting the name of the person who's going to issue the badge. In this case, it would be either the professor, or if you're doing a professional development, it could be the person with the authorization to issue certificates or badges. In this case, let me put Bill or somebody else. You can put an expiration date, or you can make it valid for a certain amount of days, weeks, months, or years. And then you select which badge you want to select, you want to show. You can pick the first one, or you can actually create some of your own and browse for them. We don't have the Mozilla badges available at the moment. It might become possible in the future, and you will also be able to publish them to Mozilla Backpack. Once you set that up, you can go ahead and save and exit. I'm not gonna save it because I already have it. I'm gonna cancel, and this would be the first one. Okay. Oh, actually, this is the one that I just created. I didn't just finish it. I just clicked on cancel. But it would be this one. Here it says that it's not valid because I didn't select the reward, and I clicked cancel before. So this would be the one that I created for the document review. The next one, after I created my assignment and my exam, here I created an assignment and then I created a test. I will go back to create achievements, and then I will also select a milestone. In this case, as assignment 1 completion, let me edit this one, but it would be exactly the same thing if you create achievement and select milestone. I'm going to edit it. So here you will have the location of the achievement. In this case, it's in assignments, and it's assignment 1 completion. That is the name. You can put a description again for this. Then you would define the triggers. In this case, I have it set up here for selector grade center column. So I located the assignment 1 here, and use at least 1 attempt for this item. So that means that if I sent an attempt for this item, I still get the milestone. Or you can actually select based on the score if you want to. If the score is equal or less than a specific amount, then they will get the achievement or the badge. Or if the score is between a specific range of grade. So let me go back to none here because I already have the criteria here. And select the reward. It would be the same thing. Cancel. And then select the reward. It would basically be what badge I want to select. So let me know. Let me cancel this. And then once I select the reward, I will get assignment 1 completion. It's a milestone. Before I continue, am I going too fast? Does anybody have a question before I proceed, or is it clear for everybody? Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next option, it's the same thing. It's for a test. In this case, I created a test, and I did the same thing for the test one completed. I created the milestone. I set it up for that test in specific, just like I set it up for an assignment based on the grade column, based on the grade in the grade center. And I have them set up for one attempt, if there's at least one attempt to get the achievement. But like you saw, you can set it up for a grading specific or a range of grades. So I'll have those two. So once I take the test, assignment 1 and test 1, for assignment 1 I get this one, and then for test 1 I get this one. But then I did set up a certificate here, and the way I set up that certificate was based on two criteria for my grade center column. I set up this achievement for one attempt here and one attempt here, which means that in order for me to get this certificate, I had to have submitted my assignment and taken one attempt at the test. If one of the two criteria was not met, I would not be able to see the certificate. Now, this is basically it for creating milestones and certificates. But like I was showing you earlier, there is some limitation for the certificates, and I have this script that you can use in order for you to customize your certificates. The script is basically for a font and to make sure that the person logged into the course will be the person showing up in here. The banner here on the top could be something that you create, and then the verbiage also would be based on what you would like it to be. If anybody is interested, they can feel free to contact me, and I will give you the script. I will provide you with the information and the steps to get this done. Now, if there is any question, feel free to raise your hand. Anybody?